integration by substitution. So let's take an integral that we might want to do. For example, the integral of x plus 4 to the power 5 with respect to x. Okay. Now, we already know how to find the integral of something to the power 5. We already know how to find the integral of, say, u to the 5 du simply by adding 1 to the power and dividing by the new power. So we know that this would become u to the 6 over 6 plus a constant of integration. Now, the integral we want to do isn't a single variable to the power 5, it's another function. So we could transform this integral into one that looks like this by means of a substitution. So let's say u equals x plus 4, and then this integral here would become the integral of u to the 5, but unfortunately we've now got a dx. We know that if we had a du, this would be quite straightforward. So the problem now is, how can I make this differential into this? Well, if you think back to core 3 and the chain rule, it ought to be able to convince yourself that du is actually du by dx multiplied by a dx, because effectively these two, you can think of them as cancelling out back to du. So this term here is the derivative of u with respect to x. So if I've got here u equals x plus 4, it's quite easy to calculate du by dx by differentiating. So if we do that for this function, it turns out that du by dx is just 1, because if we differentiate x plus 4 with respect to x, we just get 1, and therefore in this expression here it means that du equals dx. And so going back to our integral that we're trying to do, where we substituted this for u and we're trying to swap this dx, it turns out for this example, very simply, du is actually equal to dx. So I can write the integral of u to the 5 du, and over here we've already seen what that gives us. And so we can work out that the answer to this is u to the 6 over 6 plus c. But of course, the original question didn't have any u's in it at all. So our last step is to swap this u back for what it was worth from here. So that gives us x plus 4 all over 6 plus a constant of integration. So the answer to this is x plus 4 over 6 plus c. Okay? And that's the essential process of integration by substitution. Make a substitution, find the relationship between du and dx using this idea here, put the substitutions in, perform the integration, and then swap your variable back again.